Yes, Eric. Yes, Eric. I'm late. I am the John. I get to be late once in a while. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Now, I was actually making. I'm late because I got something planned for chat actually in a second. So I was making that thing up, and we're gonna try something else in chat today too. So I wanted to pre-do that, and I got lost track of time. That's what I do. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Craps with Johnny here from Pro Craps. Good morning today. We had a great little roll out there in the garage. We did a good paycheck. We had made 3 paychecks today, which is great. I don't normally play it that quick. Today just worked out. A good rolling, right? Good rolling, and it worked out fast today, which is great. But let's talk. Let's talk about all the things that are going on here. I want to switch over here and let's summarize the paycheck where we are right now. So actually, that's wrong. That's totally wrong. I got to fix that. It's not 2-0. This is a weird one because it's going so fast. It's actually 5-0. Let's hit the play button again. Make that bigger. Move it over here. Okay. It's 5-0, which is great. 5-0 is awesome. Normally, we don't see that for a week. This one, it's 5-0 because I've won so fast. And again, I said it this morning. I don't want to, prejudge the strategy and say this is a great way to play because I won 5 in a row. Ken, as you know from Ken Knows Gambling, I said this outside, played a thing called the Gunslinger. I think he won 20 times in a row or something, whatever it was. And then he got thumped a couple of times for 5, and you get thumped for 5K. It's like, whew, that's bad, right? I've had a couple of strategies that I've done that have gotten thumped pretty bad for about 5K, and it kind of sucks. So he's like, don't do the strategy because, it's not worth it. I'm like, well, maybe there's merit in there somewhere. Maybe there's a way to kind of adjust levels or whatever. This thing here, the same thing. It's 5-0, which is great. Every shooter so far, except for one, I think has been over 10 rolls, right? I've shot 23, 16, 19, 11, right? You can't not win when you're shooting 15 plus rolls every time. You can't not win. So although it's an iron cross and it covers every number, and I'm doing quote unquote smart things with the field winnings, I'm not ready to call it a winner yet. It does cover all the numbers like an iron cross does, which gives it a boost, I think, but I haven't seen it recover yet. I haven't had gone down $1,000 and had to work my way back with it yet. So we haven't really seen what a real recovery looks like with it. So I think I'm not going to judge a strategy until I see it get whacked and then fight back. That's to me the telltale sign of like, yeah, I'd play this for real. So this one has a lot of things going for it. I love the offensive line, Baccarat version of the pass line. In 2 days, 5 sessions, I have not once hit a point. So I've been on the don't pass the entire time. I intend to play Baccarat, pass, don't pass. I have yet to switch sides. I've been on the don't pass the entire time, which is insane. So we haven't really seen it do all of its things yet. So that's where that is. I think I'm still fighting with the Iron Cross. The Iron Cross, you should all have a love-hate relationship with it. I'm just going to say it now. The Iron Cross is one of the worst ways to play because it's a bleed all over the place, right? Your place bets don't win enough money. Your field bets aren't big enough to make any big difference. And then the 7 whacks you and you never get your money back. It's a tough one. It feels like you're always winning, but you're not. I think the secret to the Iron Cross is aggressively using the field wins like I've been doing. That's one of my secrets to it, is I reinvest them in the box or I pick up numbers or I go to the don't with it. That's, I think, secret 1. Secret 2, the original crossbow did this. The original crossbow played the horn. I did the any craps to the horn numbers with money too, to get extra juice on the horn numbers because you got to get something else out of it, right? Yesterday I did this where I was doing the hopping ones because I throw a lot of ones. That might be quote unquote my extra way, my side hustle in this thing. That thing made us a few $100 yesterday doing that. It would have made money today too. So I think you need a side hustle with it, whether it's the craps horn numbers or some kind of a hopping system. Maybe you play maybe you take your field wins and you do an inside hopper with it. Like something along the lines, but the field has to be, think of the field as like the turbo boost or whatever in your car. Like you're going to burn it up, but it's going to accelerate you. That's the thing, I think, the field. So that's what this week is going to be about. It's a lot of experimentation. I know that Dustin once said, hey, you played like a maniac yesterday. Well, I did, because I'm trying some different things. This one here is a paycheck, but it's also kind of let's see what feels right as well. So that's the reason for all that. So you are funny, Eric. The iron is the C student. That's pretty funny. I don't love it. I don't love the Iron Cross, but I think you can tweak things and it'll totally work. So, all right, let's move on. Let's move ahead now. And get into come out roll. Now, a couple things to talk about here. One, again, Friday night fights. I still haven't heard from Scotty Free. So I know Gellinar definitely is in contact. So it'll probably be him on Friday. So get ready for that, Sith Lord. SB, otherwise known as Corey. Again, the Crapsapalooza continues. Yesterday we had Alfredo live. We had Jeff live a couple times. We had me, Greg, Jeff, and Chris went live for a while to show you all Greg's from 555's, his last ever strategy. So it was the Andre's ladder, which was basically a back wall lay with a don't pass. That was basically it. So your back wall to get a don't. If you lose the don't, you ladder the back wall, ladder the don't, and you keep doing that, laddering them up and laddering them down. The back wall lay ends up paying you 14, 28, whatever, as the sevens come on the come out. It just gets your don't pass out there. It makes your don't pass a little bit less valuable. So you're winning $70 because you're losing 30 instead of 100. Good strategy. I think it deserves a paycheck run too. I think the paycheck, I had planned on the daily paycheck stopping after a week or so, but I want to run Ken's Gunslinger. I want to run the Tim Horton from Dr. S. I want to run this one from Greg. There's a few more to go. And then we'll decide what our tops are, and then we'll go ahead and run them all out there. So that's that. The Fireside Crafts, interesting response on that one. I think generally speaking, everybody loved it. I mean, Ken is such a great talk. Like me and Ken, it's like sit back, have a couple of pops, and just kind of talk. And I love how brutally honest Ken is. I love how open he is. I love how transparent he is. You get full Ken, right? It was great. Obviously, not everybody. He and Myopia had a little tiff out there in chat, which again, I'm not in love with the tenor or the tone out there, right? Just gotta, again, level up the conversation is what I ask on that thing. Level it up a little bit. Don't always have to agree with folks, but we're all in this fight and we're all fighting for it. So that's that. That's just kind of a generalized statement. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, Fireside. So also on Fireside, who do you want next? And put it in chat. I had a request yesterday for Charlie. I know that Charlie makes the best sense for Fireside Crafts, but he does make sense for the weekly thing. Who else do you want to see out there? Somebody suggested Duracell come in and we do a Fireside with Duracell as a player, right? Any of you, Dice Dr. Dan would be a great Fireside Crafts talk. I think Dan and I would have a great conversation. Waylon could do it. So many people could do it with me, right? So if you want to be on the show, let me know and be on the damn show with me, right? I'm fun, I'm easy, it's super cool. Let's do it. Far as what's coming up for me, a couple things. I'm still coding. I actually finally last night cracked the code last night of the roll tracker. I was stuck on a problem for a day and a half and I finally solved it last night. So the new roll tracker's coming. It'll look the exact same, but the whole guts have been swiped out of it. So I'm proud of it. It's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna do 2 Windcraps competitions coming up. One will be pure Dark Side. It came up last night. Dark Side or Sean in chat last night was talking about he's proven in his Windcraps that playing the don't pass with odds on everything but the 6 and 8 work. I've got somebody else who says they've proven in Windcraps that playing odds only on the 6 and 8 is the way to do it. I don't know who's right there. I think it depends on the rolls, obviously. I think there's a looking at 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x odds to 10x odds on the don't pass. There's a butter zone in there as well as playing it with my flat system, my flat progression system. One of those things I think could work really well. I think maybe they're all about the same. I want to run them all against a known set of rolls, and we'll see that. I'm also going to run tomorrow. We're going to do not a competition, but a chat about building your bets up to a level or building your bets down from a level, right? So let's say that you want to play 64 across. What does it look like if you start at 64 across and just start working from that level? Or if you start higher, regress to 64 and then go. I want to see what those 2 players do profit-wise. Because I think it's interesting, the amount of times you lose before you get to your base versus how many times you got to base super quick and you're accelerated, right? I want to do a little look at that. So that'll be I think tomorrow. Ooh, skill, good call. Fireside with Jacob from waiting for this. Absolutely, Jacob would be great on Fireside. That dude's got some stories, man. He's so good. So yeah, let me know. I'll keep that one as well. Drop me a DM in Discord so I don't forget. Also, or text me either way. Okay, there's that. Let's do the hard hat thing. So the hard hat award. Today is the day. Today's voting for the hard hat. There's your nominees. Ed, George, Alfredo, Duracell is on the list. I just now put the poll up as we were speaking. The poll just went up in the chat. You should see that. Hopefully you see that in the chat right now. Start voting. What I'm going to do here is this. Everybody who votes now, during the show in live chat, these votes will count triple. Okay. I also have a poll up on the actual website. I'm not going to show you the results, but people have been voting on the CGTV YouTube channel in the community. There's a post up there also. Those will count one. So the general public comes in, right? All day today we can vote on the CGTV channel. Please do. But votes that happened during the show today, and there are now 42 of you here. We'll probably get 50 at some point. These votes count triple. So if you're voting in here, your vote matters more. Your vote matters more now than it does on the after show. So there it is. There's your votes. Get them in. I think everybody that's on that list is worthy. And I think there are people that aren't on this list that are also super duper worthy of this award. But I can only put 4 people on the YouTube poll. It only takes 4. So I had to narrow it down to the top 4 that people were writing me about. And that's what I did here. So somebody will come off this list, and then next month we'll have a different set of 4. So get on there. Tell me who you want, please. I think this is really cool. AZ's got it right now and well-deserved. Who better to have the hard hat, right, than when Joe passed, right? The hard hat's in AZ's hands, and all that happened, and all the work that AZ has put in with Joe's family and stuff it's testament to why he won the award. He really deserved it. So let's do it. Let's get the votes in and roll it. All right. I don't have, by the way, a douchebag segment today. I didn't prep it, so sorry. We'll do that. We'll skip it today. We'll do it tomorrow. But I do want to talk about this some more. We have been yammering on yesterday about working your rack. So I did a whole session yesterday. And it leads me, by the way, down to I was telling Greg this last night, the video that got me started on YouTube was, my very first one was how to manage your rack, the way that I manage it. That video is really popular. It's what kind of put me on the map, I guess, right? But it's such a cringy video to watch because I wasn't very good at filming back then. It was so rinky-dink the way I filmed that thing. I want to refilm it. Yesterday, I did a bunch of stuff on the rack, and I wanted to use that as kind of a temperature gauge. Should we do another set of videos on rack management? I think the answer from chat judging is yes, we should. So here's the thing that the rack shows us, and I'll review this with you. One, if you set it up with separators, let's say you're going to play the Skill 66, you've got 10 shots, 10 slots, or 10 instances of $70 that are separated, you'll know how many times you get to keep playing. That's a good information gathering system. You can also set it up to manage your profit levels, right? $100, $100, $100, you know where your profit lies. The rack gives you the information by looking down and seeing where you are, if you manage it in a way that makes sense, okay? We also showed yesterday how we can use the rack to track things. For example, you can bet mirror, which I think is a powerful way. Nobody does this that I see. Bet mirroring, though, is a way for you not to have to squint into the table and figure out what you got out there. If you just make your bet, let's say it's 44 inside, and put 44 to the front of your rack, you press up a number in your rack, press up the number. So your rack in the one section can always show you what you have on the rack, so you can do the math easier. So, I've got, 550 here, and in the front of my rack, I've got 77, which means I have 77 on the felt, virtually, right? That now my bankroll is what it is. That's a good way to help you do the math, right? You can use the front of your rack to preset your next bet. Right? If the 5 hits, here's the dollar I'm going to put out. If the 6 hits, here's the $3 I'm putting out. If the 10 hits, here's the $7, and you can lay them out there. And so whatever happens, you can grab your next little power press or whatever it's going to be and have it ready to go. set yourself ahead of time, right? You can track levels. If you're in a ladder, use white chips or use lammers and track what level your ladder is at so you don't forget, right? With me, when I do a ladder parlay, sometimes the parlay's out there and I forget if I'm in a parlay or if I'm in a ladder, right? And I forget where I am, so I use chips to help me count that stuff. I know that Clay from East Coast Crafts uses his white chips and blue and red chips to count the rolls. He counts box number hits in the front of his rack. Again, it's a quick visual. How am I doing? Like, how is the shooter doing? What are we hitting? What's hot? And everybody at the table gets to look at his rack and see that he's tracking for everybody, and they all can tell what's going on. That's a really powerful tool. If you want to do that, right? Yesterday we talked about money management styles, right? Ways to manage the money in your rack. I use a quadrant system for the most part, right? My bankroll's in the back right, my play money's in the front left, my profits in the front right, back left is usually my singles, my as Tony Leo would call it, like your fun money, right? Or your chump change or whatever you want to call it. That's where that goes for me. Other guys have different quadrant systems that they use, whatever. Find one that works for you. I like to use also the bankroll as my recovery system, right? I work to keep the bankroll clean, right? Vince works in out of sight, out of mind. You can work rolling bankroll. Lots of ways to use your rack to manage it. But here's kind of where the rub, I think, really is, which is decision making. That's going to be today's topic, decision making. When do you lower your bets or switch out? When do I leave the casino? When do I go short stack? Is it okay to lean in to my bets right now? I think your rack is what holds the answers to those decisions. Part of the decision-making process is going to be your risk tolerance or your risk appetite. Either way, right? You'll hear that JB will talk to us in the next fireside about risk appetite versus risk aversion. Some people, like him, have an appetite for risk. They want more risk. That's where the enjoyment of the game comes from. Some people, like skill and luck, have a risk aversion, and they construct strategies that mitigate risk wherever it can, right? So there's this level. I think based on how you think and process the game, the answers to these questions are for you, but they lie in your rack. And your rack is going to give you, I think, the answers to those questions. And here's where we're going to go. I'm going to go to the table here, and I want to talk to you about this stuff right here and really lean into the notion, oh, it's the wrong view. I want to go to this view. Maybe, there we go. Lean into the notion of playing the game in phases, okay? And I think that this is a critical piece, and I know that people tend to, I want to say misconstrue, misunderstand what I say sometimes, but when you watch me play, a lot of times you'll go, God, John is so hyper aggressive. Like Skill says all the time, oh, here goes Johnny being all stupid aggressive. But there's a point at which I allow myself to be aggressive and a point at which I force myself to be conservative. And I play this way that we have on screen here almost all the time, which is fighting like hell, whatever I'm doing, to keep my rack clean. Now here's my rack, okay? I'll show you what's that. There's 500, there's 1,000, right? I have 10 black chips. And when I manage my rack, right, in my back half for me, 500, and 500. That's my bankroll. All the time I'm working on the felt. All the time. I showed you this yesterday. Every bet that I make, I feed the bankroll until it's back to $1,000. I feed it. The minute that this thing's at $1,000, everything off the table now comes here, right to the front part of my rack, right? Once I'm clean, I work the front. I work the front now. Here's what I do, right? Number one, clean rack, right? Keep filling. If I put $100 on the felt, for bets, where's that chip? For a bet, right? When $100 comes back, as it pays off, again, I'm feeding back here. I know that I'm good. I feed the front of the rack. Then I evaluate the front of the rack. Okay, here's the clean rack, then profit. That's phase two. What kind of profit do I have? Sometimes it's only going to be that one chip. Not enough profit to keep playing with, right? To call it a day with. I got to come back in here, work the bets, earn some more profit, right? And that's how I work that front side. I manage profit until I'm at a goal that I can lock. Okay, now, if I'm at $1,000 and I'm looking to win $200, let's just say that's my goal for the day, $200. I got a couple of ways that I can mentally play this thing, okay? And again, it could take you 15 rolls to make the $200. right? You could be 64 across same betting and be here for an hour and a half and squeak out $200. That could be your way, right? You could have been at 320 across and taken 3 hits, right? Been clenched up for 3 hits and won 210. Okay, that might be your $200. Here's the question though, right? We got some profit. We're at phase 2, priority 2, sufficient profit. Priority 3 now, which they're all say priority 2. I don't know why I didn't number them right. Priority 3 though would be to lock the profit. At what point do you lock profit? And here's the question. And this goes to your system, right? I could right now say, well, I made exactly $200. I locked the whole thing and I'm going the hell home, right? If that was my goal. I could say, well, I made 200. I'm going to lock 1, play with 1. Okay. This is when your last priority. Are you home? Are you in for a little dip? Are you trying to build back up again? Right? Do I try and turn the 200 into a little more and have a bigger lock? Right? So lock 50, play 50. Not at goal yet, but I'm not going to go any deeper than this. Okay. At worst, I go home with $100. And that's, again, math for you, right? If your goal was 200 and you made 200, are you out? Or are you saying to yourself, well, I got to most of my goal. I'm going to lock and make sure I leave with $100. Play with 100, never dip in again. So I'm up for the day no matter what. This 100 could go away, right? This 100 goes away, you're predisposed to leave if you lose this 100. If you turn the 100 into, let's say your whatever you bet. Let's just say we had 4 come bets, whatever, right? And let's say that, this one comes down and gets paid. This one comes down and gets paid. We roll a 5, it comes down and gets paid, and we roll a 7 and lose the 4. This one goes away. Well, here you are, right? You turn the 100 into 150, right? I might say, well, let's rack half of the new and play again. Let's say you turn that into another 150. Let's say you turn the 125 into like, whatever, $150 again or something, right? Or you doubled it up. What do you do? Again, I would probably rack half of that and play with half of that. You kind of controlled this 50, 50, 50, 50, right? Until you're at your actual goal. And here would be a case where we're at our actual goal, $200, and I've got 175 in front. I can play 110 and rack 50, something like that. So you work your rack here in the front. This excess pile is what I always talk about short stacking with. I short stack with this. Most of my play at the casino, honestly, is spent here. Oftentimes, especially playing the horseman, I'll win my goal or half my goal first shooter or 2. And I'm playing short stack almost the whole time. I'm working small little bets with this front money here until I get to actual goal. And then I make that go or no go decision. Right? And again, I'm not trying to give you the answer to craps here. I want you to think about what you would do in these situations. Suppose you were here. Suppose that you had won, let's say this. Let's say we won that. Let's say that through the course of play, whatever strategy you were on, you won, I'll spread it out, you won $300. Okay, and your goal was $200. In this case, absolutely, I lock 200, right? Boom, I put the lammer in front, that means I'm done. I'll spread them out for that. Front lammer means I'm not going past it when I have my profit locked. Then I got 100. And this is the options we see on screen. Priority, it should be priority 4, go. Do I go home right now? Right? Do I go in for a dip? Do I go all in? And what I mean by that is this. Here's your 3 options. I think when you're here and I've hit my $200 win goal, I've got an extra 100. If I go in for a dip, that might be $25 in the come. It might be a $12 6 and 8. It might be $25. I may actually go 30. I probably would go 30. Let's get some nickels here. I'd probably go $30 and do a $15 4 and 10. Right? Let's flip the 4 and 10 with $15 on it. Right? Let's do like a half a flip. Right? This is what I mean by taking a dip. Taking some of your money, trying a little side bet, see if you get lucky, kind of thing, right? Again, you might just go, $24 6 and 8 could be your play, whatever that is for you. The other thing you could do is, like I said, obviously take it home, but the other thing is, do you go all in, right? Is this the time to say, well, I got $100, right? Let me take that $100 and go 96 across and try something with it. Let's go take the $100 and let's go all the way, right? Let's not fart around. Let's go 96 across with the whole 100 and go all in and play something like, I don't know, pineapple press, right? Or tier pressure, or the new Pineapple Johnny that Buckeye Slim created, right? Or the Philly Special, right? Take the whole thing and go, and let's just jump in here and be as aggressive as we can, okay? This is where I catch a lot of heat from y'all. Skill and luck, I know, and Alfredo gave me a bunch of grief the other day. I did this, right? I had my goal on the big monster roll, right? I made my $500. I went out here across, right? I stayed 6 and 8. I just stayed on 2 bets because I was actually doing this. I actually went all in the middle. And I kept betting forever, right? I worked this thing like an old dog, man. I worked this 96 across or whatever it was that day. I think I had the insides bet. I worked that thing for 35 rolls, right? And made like 8K. And at the end of it, let's pretend. Here's the all-in scenario. And this is what I want you to really think about, okay? Whatever you do press-wise. Now you can do the half press, the full press, whatever you want. I don't really care. Here's where I ended up that day. I'm going to show you exactly what we had. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000. We had $7,500 that we had made in the rack. And at the same time, I had $1,800 each on the 6 and 8. That's where I was, okay? We'd only tiny pressed it. We worked like nothing, tiny bets. I think $500 we worked all the way up to 7,500 here and this here. When you're all in, right? I made the decision to go all in, hog wild. I was locking this up, right? And I kept saying to you, here's what I want you to say. You're gonna want to pull this down, right? You gotta regress. I should have made this look like 600 maybe, right? And pulled back whatever that is, $2,400. I could have done that, right? But after I did that, we got actually, I think, 3 more wins up in here, right? We had 3 more $2,000, that happened here, right? I got 3 more $2,000 wins, right? You don't get to win $7,500 by regressing, right? I kept saying to myself, where am I happy? Like, at what point do I not care about losing what's out here, right? So I had my $500. I'm like, cool, got my paycheck, right? We win a little bit. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I got $1,000 extra in my rack. Like, there's my first 1,000. I'm like, whoa, I got $1,000 here? And these bets were at like 600 each. I'm like, should I pull those down? Right? Or do I stay out here and let them roll? Well, after my second 1,000, I was like, you know what? I got 2K in the rack. I really just don't care. If these things are $2,000 too, fine. I'm happy to walk if this thing sevens out with $2,000 extra. I'm totally happy with that. And you got to make a decision when you're going to stay or go. And again, if you're in priority 4 mode, right? If you're predisposed to go quote unquote all in, right? You make this money when you get a chance to. And yeah, losing 3K sucked, right? This could have been a $10,000 win instead of a $7,000 win, but you don't make the 7 without the big bets being out here. That's what I'm saying there. But again, I could have just walked earlier. I could have said, you know what? I'm done. Got my $500, right? Went 96 across, turned 96 across into $200, and I'm out, right? That could have been a totally fine way to do it. You have to make that call for yourself, right? Again, what's your risk appetite? What's your risk aversion here? So when you got your locked $200 and you have the extra 100, what are you doing with it? Okay, you're gonna dip your toe in for a quarter and do something small and maybe a little bit of growth potential. You're gonna go halfway in, or you're gonna go all in. And if you go all in, what are you doing with the all in? Here's the big question. If you go all in, are you going all in with the same win goal? In other words, am I looking to turn 100 into 120, 20% win on the all in and getting out, or racking that and trying it again? like resetting the short stack. Is that what your goal is? Because that's a fine goal. Turn your excess into 20% multiple times, and every time you do it, you're putting 20 bucks in the back of the rack. You're like, hey, I got that. Maybe the next time you go to 120 out here and you turn 120 into 30 bucks in profit and inch your way through this thing, short stacking it that way. Or are you going to go all in and just say, well, this is either going to make me, this 100 bucks is either going to make me 1,000 or it's going to make me nothing. And you just hammer it. Right? That's, again, your risk appetite, but only from here. Only when you have safety. I think that's the important thing, right? That's why I put this up here as phase 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to work from a position of safety, right? Be smart about it. Lock the profit. Don't make any decisions at all until you have 2 conditions met. Condition 1, clean bankroll. Condition 2, locked your goal. Now, whatever else you got, you can do whatever you want to with it. Nobody will judge you, right? Once you're locked up here, you can't be judged, right? You're just going to do what you wish you could do, right? This is the time to ride the adrenaline and go for it, or it's the time to go, you know what? I got extra 100 bucks. I'm bringing that with me, and I'm going to call that like an extra dipping sauce, man. We got out of here with a little bit of extra juice, and I'm done for the day, right? That might be, I don't know, Haagen-Dazs for the family on the way home, right? Versus just going to the depository, right? You can deposit 500 bucks in your 401g, or you can deposit 500 bucks and go get yourself a steak dinner, right? Whatever you want to do, man. That's I think the conversation that we all have to be having. So let me come back up here and do this. I think this will be the same screen. Hey, look at that. Oh, you know what? We got to get the stupid thingy off here. One of these days, I'm going to remember to do that every single time I walk up. So this is what I want for you to think about. I want you to think about playing the game in those 4 stages, right? Work to get your rack clean, right? Whatever your strategy is, get that rack clean. Get your bankroll back, right? Show some profit, lock some profit. Hopefully you're locking your goal. If you lock your goal and you have excess, that's the last priority, which it should say 4, which is to go. Do you go home? You go in for a little dip? You're going all in. If you're going all in, what is your goal? Is your goal again to have a clean rack from your short stack, profit in your short stack, locking from your short stack, and going from the new short stack? You can repeat the process with that little tiny money, or it can be a one-shot, get on in there kind of a thing. That's the decision for you. And I think the way that we make money at this game is that priority. I gotta change. This is just driving me crazy. I'm sorry. I should have. Sorry, I can't look at it anymore. This has got to be a 3. Sorry, you know me, I'm a little bit anal about things. There we go. Sorry, I couldn't stand looking at it anymore. If you're going to be, you can repeat priority 1, 2, 3, and 4 from your short stack, right? So again, if you win 500 bucks and you actually win 600 bucks, your 100 can go through the same system. Right, your 100 becomes your bankroll, right? Make that clean, show profit on it, lock that up, go. Or you can just say the 100's going in. Does that make sense, guys? I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain this the best way that I can because I caught a lot of heat for going crazy the other day, but that's what you have to do. When you get the chance to, you do it. I did it from a position of priority 3. I'd already locked up my goal for the day. Everything else after that, boom, super happy with it, right? And that's it. Greg says, I will leave your 3,000 in profits even if you won, right? And I think that's an important point. And that's why I say, this is where the definition risk appetite comes from, right? If I pulled 7,500 off the table and I have $3,000 left, the way that I probably think about this, honestly, because I'm a nerd, I look at that and go, oh, there's an even 10,000. I probably pull it down just to have an even 10K because I like even numbers where I can get them. As it was, I was at 7,500, which was an even number. And yeah, losing that 3K sucked, right? But it was a profit play. I'd made a fortune otherwise. And again, your brain has to say, if I'm not okay with leaving that out there because I got 7,500, then you're right, Greg, you pull that off, right? If your risk appetite or risk aversion says to you, you cannot leave that kind of money. A lot of people say, I cannot leave that kind of money out there. Some people say, I can't leave 600 out there. I got to get the 600 bucks off the table. Cool, take it down. Nobody's judging you for doing that, right? Priority 4 is go home. Go for a dip or go all in. I choose with excess to go all in. That's just my predilection because I have to work so hard because I grind to get to the point where I'm at my goal. I feel like I can just exhale and just do what I'm here to do, which is have a ton of fun. That's my adrenaline time, right? For many of you, you're like, no, I don't want the adrenaline. I want to get my money and get the hell out. That's Greg. Cool. Take your money and get out. Play it your own way. That's the thing. I just want you to always make that decision when you're at level 4. Clean rack, bit of profit, lock your win goal, then you make your choice. Nobody will judge you for making that final choice, whatever it's going to be. If it's go all in and lose it all, whatever it is, as long as you've locked up, I don't care what you do. Right? Play tier pressure, play the Philly special, have fun with the 410 flip. Do whatever you want to. Only do it though when you're locked and do it with your excess. Don't do it from your rack. That's the only advice I can give you. So there you go. What time is it? 8:45? You guys want to play some craps? Let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to destroy the strategy. Here I go. I'm going to destroy this one. I'm going to try it out. Let me get this going. The KPI. Let's see here. I'm going to get this. There we go. There's the rack. Oh my God, that table looks terrible. I got to get the light back on. Wow. Let's play the Buckeye thing. Buckeye, I forgot the name of it though. But this is a strategy that you created, which I want to play. So let's do it. Let's go and play $1,000 worth of this strategy. I got to get the this to reload. Maybe the roll tracker will reload. I don't know. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's get the roll tracker over here. Let's run it out. Buckeye, do you care, by the way, if I run this out live? As a little way to have some fun here? I gotta tie my shoe, hold on. Stepped on my shoelace. Nothing like live TV, right? This one I think is cool. This one here, for sure, could end up being a paycheck for us. So let's play it out. Let's do $1,000. And I think I'm going to butcher this. I watched the video. I don't have it memorized. So if I butcher it, forgive me. But here we go. We're going to go and catch a point. Actually, I think the point's still there from last time. Let's get a 5, 2, 7 it out. All right, here we are. 4, 3, 7. Actually, that was a come out 7 anyway. Let's see. 8. 8's the point. So here's what we're going to do. We're bypassing the line. Dropping $100 out here. We're going to get $4 change going 96 across. Okay, I'll put the $4 over here. 96 across. So it's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and 3. We're going to wait a minute. We're going to take one hit. We're going to do some reinvestment here. We're going to turn this thing from 96 across into a 3-point Johnny. It's going to transition. I love transition strategies. Okay, here we go. That is a 8 going in. Can we survive a little bit? Can we survive a little bit? 5, 6, yo. Can we get 10 cracks at this thing? 6, 5, yo. 6, 3, 9. All right, we're on the 9. 6, 3. Now that pays $21. Let's get some reds over here at the bank. $21. What we do with the $21, we're going to drop 10 into the cum. We're going to take $11 back to our rack. I'm going to put whites, reds, and greens in here. You'll watch how I get this bankroll set back up. So we took one hit, into the cum we go. The next hit, we're going to press the inside. Then we're going to press the middles. Then we're going to press the outside. Pineapple press style. We're going to take 3 cum bets and make 3 series of presses if we can get the hits. Okay, there's a 4, 1, 5. So what happens here, this cum bet moves into the 5. The 5 is going to have to come down and get paid $21. Okay, what we're going to do is put $10 back in the cum for the next cycle. Okay, we're going to take $10. We're going to wait for the odds, actually. We're going to wait for the odds. I'm going to take $25 here, put $1 back. I'm going to get 5 whites, We're going to go $12 each under the 6 and 8. We press the middles. It makes the 6 and 8 both look like $30 with that press. Pineapple press, inside out. They both go to $30. Okay. Next come bet, we're going to press these two, depending where the come bet ends up. Okay. Did I put that in? I did not. Here we go. Let's just avoid big red though, right? Avoid big red. Ah, shit, there's big red. Would have been nice to have had it set. There's $10 for the come. The rest of it we'll lose. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and take these all down. I'm going to drop another $100. We're going to get $4 change. I'm going to go back out here at 96 across. Okay, let's get the bets all reset. That comes back actually. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. All right. Bucks off. Let's put the 7 in. Okay, here we go. We're $200 into this thing. We got to work that bankroll back to health. Point's going to be a 4, 3-1. Let's go. A hard 4. That's awesome. 2-2 hard 4. So that's going to pay, obviously. It's going to pay $27. Okay. Puck will be off. We're going to leave it up. Bring this back to the rack. After the next point gets hit, we're going to go into the come for $10. So our first one pays the come, but it happened to be the point. So we're going to leave ourselves off for a second. There's an 8. Okay. Into the 8. Into the come. Let's get a Johnny working here. Oh, good. We got our little bit of a bonus win in there. Love it. Booyah. 6-5 yo. This is a 5-4-9 right here. Okay, 5-4-9. $21. Okay, there's the 21. That come moves into the 9. $10 stays in the come. The 9 comes down. We're going to go 24, 6, and 8. We're going to press them up to $30 each. Okay, pineapple press. We're going to work inside out pressing. Come bets are going to be kind of the fuel here as we go. Hopefully we get some wins on the inside and keep this thing well. I'll put the odds up here after we're done. Did I put that in? I did. 6, 4, 2. Thank you. I thought it was going to be something ugly. 6, 4, 2, 6. That's awesome because that pays extra, right? 25, $35. It's beautiful. This goes into the 6. 6 comes down. We go into the come. We're going to go ahead and take the 5 down and press the 5 up. Okay, the 9 will get pressed. We can do it now. We can put $20 on the 9 right now just to get it, because I want to press here and then here. Okay, 25 to the rack. Back in the come. Last one, we'll press up the outsides. Here we go. Did I put that in? I did. Let's survive. Come on. Yes, 314. Sweetie. 314. Now this come goes to the 4. Okay, that 4 gets paid 27. I have 3 come bet set. All the place bets come down. Put the $2 over here. As we're bringing them down, we're going to set our levels. Right, the 6 and 8 get full odds. 5 and 9 get 2x odds. The 4 and 10 get single odds. Okay, everything else is coming back. Now watch this. We went out there for $100 the first time. There's 4 greens. I'm going to make them blacks just to keep my rack clean. There's one of our losses recovered. Work the rack. What do I have extra here? There's 25. There's $50. I'll put that back here for now. $50 towards the clean rack. And if I were to color these out, which I will, you can't do it in the casino. I'm going to do it here just to give you a quick reference. I've got 20 more bucks. So I'm $40 away from being clean rack, plus what's out here in come bets. All right, 314. Let's go. Let's get a come bet to pay. 325. We got to come back to pay. We're going to be in an interesting situation in the rack. 6-5 yo. Come on, one of you guys have to pay. Another 5. Good Lord. Come on, somebody has to pay here. Freaking hell. Of course not. 4-3-7. So we'll lose them. Whatevs. We gave it a shot, right? I like that we made the transition that time. Making that transition is not easy. Let's do it again. So where are we? Almost to 96 across. We have almost enough money here to do it. There's 50, 60, 70 bucks. I can't quite get 96. So I'm going to get what I can with where I am. We'll take 100 out of here. Okay. I'm going to grab, I think, 75. Yeah, 75 and 25 should do it. There's 3. There's 1. If I take this $6, that gets my 6 and 8 caps. Okay, there we go. Back to 96 across. Where's our rack? Well, we have 875 in the rack, so we're down a bullet and a half. We're down, and we're out. Let's go. Let's catch a point. Let's catch a point and make it work. This one, again, I got to practice it some more. I don't have the rhythm quite down yet. There's a 3-1-4, by the way. Put them in. But this is cool. This is a Buckeye Slim special right here. 3-1, 3 and a 1. I want to get to the point where I can make one of those rack decisions, right? 6-4-10 on the end. Great. That's going to pay 27 bucks. I'm going to pay it with nickels. $27. Okay. The 10 is going to stay there. We're going to go 10 into the come, 15 to the rack. We're not going to press up in here until that second one. First one is just to get the come bet going. 6-4-10. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that sucks for me. That really sucks. That's all right. We got the 11 to pay us last time, so we'll have to, it's going to burn 10 bucks out of our rack, which blows. We get it right back, and boy, oh boy, look at us going here. That becomes a wash in the come. We're still at 25 that we had taken off the table there, but we lose the whole 96, which is sucky. I got to dip in again. Now we got to work a little bit. There's 4 change. Same bet, 100 bucks out of the rack. Reset the bets, and now we're got to fight. Now we're really we're in kind of a dogfight here. We got to make this thing work. Come on. Let's have a nice roll. 4 again. 3-1-4. 3-1-4. Booyah. There's a 5, 3-2. So you should know the pattern now. Hopefully. This thing comes pretty quick to you. 21 bucks. Extra nickel there. $21. 10 to the come. 11 to the rack. I'm going to work that hard. Matter of fact, I can take 5 nickels for a quarter. These 4 quarters here, if I make them a black, and again, I know you can't make change. I want you to see this, how I'm doing it. That brings back one of our losses, right? So I'm working the bankroll to get this thing looking right. Every time I see the 100 bucks, I'm going to keep popping it. Now I know I'm exactly 200 down in my bankroll. 100 of it's out here. That much we know for sure. Okay, so we have our target kind of in mind. Here we go. Damn it. I keep doing this, right? Wow. 5-2. All right. Well, this is going to take the comeback. There's that 100 we just worked our way into. We're going to get $4. Actually, I'm going to get, I'll drop $1 and get 5 change. Puck is off. Come on, man. How about a decent roll? 6-5 yo. Four again. But how many, has the 4 been the point every single time? Jeez-a-loo. Here we go. There's a 5, 3, 8, 21. So 10 stays in the come. 10, 11 to the rack. Can I get more than one roll, please, Mr. Dice? There's the 4. Sweet. So that'll be the point. Come travels. 4 pays 27. Comes down. $10 of that will be the next come bet. 25 to the back. And we know that we're also going to press the 6 and the 8, pineapple style, from that 25 bucks. Okay, let's drop the 24 out here. Make these both look like 30, but we're coming out, so we can give it a rest. Pineapple press with a come driver, kind of how that works. All right, let's go. 10. There's a 10, a 6, and a 4. Okay, we're coming. We coming. 6, 4. That was the $10 that came from that 4. There it is again. The 4 hits. Now, unfortunately, we had no odds on that 4. Okay, so this becomes off and on, right? Off and on, they'll pay you like this. What that means is this comes down and gets paid. This goes to the 4. This comes back in the come, and here you are again. So we got nothing out of that. Unfortunately, that gave us nothing, no juice at all, other than the 10 bucks we won. You go to the 5 and 9 with it. I'm actually going to power press those and make them look like a quarter, just to have the numbers be even. So it's going to cost us an extra $5 to do this. But now we've pressed. We have our last come bet coming here. And we'll get out of it. Aces. Come on, man. Come on, man. Uncle Joe, help me out here. Buckeye, I'm sorry, man. I'm destroying this thing today. Can't get it to work. There's the come payment. Let's do one more shooter's worth. One more shooter. Dropping $100. Let's go back out. Unfortunately, my rack management demo is going badly because I'm rolling badly today. Otherwise, this would have been awesome. Okay, 196 out. I'll drop $1 to get a nickel back from the dealer. Let's go. Another point. Here, we're going to go ahead and do the superstitious thing and change dice. Midnight. Doesn't matter. 8 hard. 8 hard. Okay, that's the point. Aces. It does nothing for me. Although this shooter has got the midnight and the aces, which is kind of cool. Coming out, there's a 5, 4, 1. Let's get it. Here we go, 4, 1, 5. I got a good feeling here. There's $21. Come with 10. Rack and 11. Rack and 11. That is a 6, a 4, 2. It's, you can't see it, but there's the 2 off the wall. There's the 4 off the wall. 4, 2, 6. Okay. Also pays $21. That comes down. The come travels in. Okay. Now the next move here is to make the 8 look like 30. So we're going to drop $12 for the 8 to make the 8 look like $30. We're going to pineapple press it. So the 8 goes to 30. 10 goes into the come. And the rest of this goes on the 6. We're going to make the 6 look like a quarter in or $15 in odds. That'll pay $18. Okay. That's the most we could put with what we had. We invested the entire thing into the middle and the next come bet. 4, 2, 6. Let's go. Come on. There's a 5, 3, 2. Good. That's our second come bet. Goes to the 5. The 5 comes down. It gets paid also $21. Okay. We went into the come. We're going to put $10 on the 9 to make it look like a quarter. Again, pressing to the outside. We're going to take $15 here. I'll probably just take 10 of it and put it up on odds on the 5. That 10 will pay 15. So we basically pressed the insides the middles, and I'm using like the odds to make the press feel the same size. And now we have our last come bet coming through. There's a 3-2 logged in. Come on, let's get it set and let's win these freaking things for once. 639. Okay, that's fan-freaking-tastic. 639. This goes to the 9. 9 comes down, gets paid $35. And we have 1, 2, 3 come bet set. Right? I'm going to make the now that they're set, make the odds what I would do for a Johnny. So 2x odds on the 9, 2x odds on the 5, and 5x odds for $25 on the 6. And there we go. I'm going to bring the rest of this back to my rack. And what I've got in here, by the way, there's 25, there's 20, and there's 5. So this right here is 50. That's 50. That's a black chip that I can use virtually to replace my earlier losses. So I'm building up the backside of that rack. I could do it, and I would do it at the casino with all the whites and reds and stuff. It just gets messy to manage here on camera. But here we are. I'm going to bring the 4 and 10 down. We're just playing, and the 8-2, by the way. We're just playing the Johnny, okay? So our next $100 is in process. There's $50 towards it. We're going to work another $100 in there. And that's it. We're going to play this thing out to resolution here. Hopefully we get these things to hit and can work that Johnny a little harder, right? There's 11. There's a 9. Awesome sauce. 5, 4. I'll make it a 6-3. Doesn't matter. So it's going to pay 20. It's going to pay 30. 10 is going to pay 10. So you're going to win $40 there. So I'm going to pay it like that. $40. Okay, we're doing the Johnny, so we're back in the come, and here we go. Okay, there's 50, there's 75, there's 100. That replaces one of my other losses. Okay, I'm gonna check change for that. Now I have 800 in the rack. Again, working to get a clean rack. Always working to get that clean rack. This is the priority 1. New come bet coming. Let's go. Let's stay on it. Good. 628 points off. Here's what's going to happen. This travels up here. $20 in odds. We are set. My odds are working. You know how I do this, right? 628. My odds are working. We did the math. We know this is the right play. Unless I do something stupid, right, and get a 7. 6-4-10. New point. 6-4. Come on, guys. Resolve yourselves. Let's get resolved. There's a 6. There's a 6, a 3-3, hard 6. Awesome. 3-3-6. It's going to pay goodly. It's going to pay 10 here. It's going to pay 30 on the back. Right? Now what we can do, come again, maybe with a little higher base bet. Right? If I want to increase my odds, I would do a higher base bet and kind of power this thing through. Let's just play it straight at the same level. Put 50 in the back. I'll put 15 here in the front. $10 coming for the next one. Let's get it. Let's get it. Come on. Everybody resolve. 6-5, yo. Let's get the dice up here. 6-5, mid-mo, yo. Freebie, freebie, freebie. There's another quarter, by the way, right? If I take this quarter and I put it back here, now I'm $75 towards the next 100, getting myself replaced. I'm gonna put the yo in. 6-5, yo. And now we have a 4-4-8. I'm sorry, 4-2-6. It's a 6, not an 8. Doesn't matter, we're not on either one of them, but this does move to the 6. And now I will take this and make that odds. I should have left it up front. There we go. It's odds. Here we go. 4-2-6, the repeater. Repeater, pumpkin eater. All right, that's going to be the same thing. It's going to pay 30 back on the odds. It's going to pay 10 on the flat and come down. That goes to the come. The 2 greens can go back and look like what's going to be a black chip here in a minute. Let's see where this thing travels before we make that decision. Okay, here we go. Did I type that in? 2. Okay, here we go. Cycling it. Oh my God, that 3 6s in a row? It is. Back to the 6 we go. Drop the quarter on it. Let's hope for the best here. Come on, John. Just takes one roll. Look at this, 4 6s in a row. There's the mixer, 5-1. Wow, 5-1. And again, it gets paid 10 flat. It gets paid 30 for the odds, and it all comes down. Next come bet. Now I can for sure rack a black chip. Right, I'll replace that with another black, and look where we are. We've recovered our bankroll, except for one black unit. We're at 900 here, and I've got between this and this, 50 bucks. Let's get it set. I haven't hit the other two yet. Let's go. Come on, give me one of those two, huh? Midnight. That blows. Losing the come. I would love to have a 5 or a 9 come out here, wouldn't you? Come on, 5 or a 9. 5 or a 9. There's an 8. Okay, fine. Goes to the 8. Travel to the 8. Drop the odds up on it. Here we go. Nine, finally. Finally, one of them hit. Awesome. All right, so again, that comes down. We're going to get paid 10 flat, and 20 pays 30 on the backside. So it's 40 bucks. It all comes back. This will travel up. Goes back for 20. 3 come bets are back. There we go. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This goes into the come for the next one. My bad. Next come bet. 639. Look at us cycling these come bets. This is the way that the Molly works. When the Molly's working, it works good, right? 426. That goes up in there. I'm going to take 5 nickels from the front here. Make that my odds. I'm also going to, by the way, color these up. Get a quarter back for that. And again, I'm working the back side here, right? Look at where we are. We're at 950, working the back side of the bankroll. We're getting the bankroll clean, right? If I pull the odds down, the bankroll is clean and we have profit play. You could play short stack. We're going to leave the odds out here. Let it roll out. Let's see what happens. It's a pretty good fight back, right? Based on how we're rolling here. There's a 5, 4, 9. We're not on it. Let's get a 6 or an 8. The 7 comes and takes it all away. But look at how good we did, right? That thing was pretty stout. Now, had we pulled down, I'll show you where we would have been, okay? There's the flats on the odds. Those would have been contracts. You can't pull those down, okay? We could have pulled down the odds, though, and been in a situation where we have a clean bankroll and $25 in profit. We could have pulled the odds and said, okay, whew, take a breath. We're back and we're rolling, okay? We didn't do that, okay? So we're going to be in the situation here where we're giving up 50, 50, and 20. And after all that, we were down 290 bucks, whatever the hell it was. We've clawed all the way back to being $35 down. That's pretty damn good. The Molly's a stout strategy on its own. The 3-point Johnny is a great strategy on its own. Using the 96 bucks to fund it is great. We went up for $96 and we funded 3 come bets and we funded their odds all from the initial 96 bucks. We never dipped back into the bankroll to make the odds plays. And those things paid off good. If that roll happened first instead of fourth, right, we would have been in great shape, right? We would have been probably 200 bucks up. So isn't that cool? The recovery is there. So that's it. All right, let's get out of here. Let's see, it's 9/11. It's almost birthday time. Let's go. Let's go back here and watch me go. Watch me go. I'm going to turn the light off before I come back to the camera because I care. Because I care. All right, here we go. Whew. That was fun, man. I'm glad I rolled that out today. I haven't rolled it out live yet. I just saw it last night for the first time, so it was cool. Let's check the comments, make sure I didn't miss anything that's important here. Let's see. Am I popping and locking? Love the table. Oh yeah, it's a tombstone table. I love my table. My table's great. I can't wait until the new chips come. So I actually ordered a new set of chips. I told you about them. Here's the blanks that I got. I got these from a casino supply house. So getting these with my logo on them is going to take 9 months. That's how booked out they are. So it's going to be a while before I get them, but these are legit clay casino chips. So I got them colored with like day glow colors, so you'll see them on the table. It's going to pop nice. It's going to look really, really good, I think. And yeah, I can do $5 come bets, right? Which makes it easier for me to do. Greg says, why odds once you got the money off the table? You are in the right. Yeah, so this is interesting, right? The Molly system is an odds system, right? It's the whole point of it is to get the flat bets suck, right? The flat bet's great while it's in the come. The flat bet sucks when it's traveled. You need the odds to make the flat bet not be so bad, I guess. This one here, for sure going to play the odds while I'm in recovery mode. And you see the odds paid us off 4 or 5 times in recovery to get us back to almost even. That's the reason why you do it. I know that Waylon had to said also, don't play them on the come out. I get it. I've done the math on this. Playing the odds on the come out on the come bets is the right play. It's almost a 2-to-1 right play. It's so much more advantageous to do it than not do it. You got to do it. And again, it's risk aversion, risk tolerance, right? That's how you do it. And again, at the end there, I think I was at a point where if I would have pulled it all down, I would have had profit. Pulled the odds off, I would have been with a small profit, and I could have short stacked the $25, restarted the whole thing again. Whatever, right? You're in a roll. You're in a roll. You're on a roll. I don't believe the 7's coming. I just believe the next roll is coming. So I think that just comes down to kind of how you view what's about to happen. So, all right, I think that's it, guys. I think I'm done for the day. It's 9:15 now. I got to go to work and do some actual stuff for my job. So y'all have a good day. That was a fun rollout this morning. Fun rollout here. Hopefully the discussion was good about getting your money off the table and playing with excess. I think the whole discussion here boils down to getting even, getting up, locking in. What do you do with your excess? Are you going to take the excess home, play a little bit lightly with the excess, short stack style, or are you going to take the excess and hit a home run with it? That's for you to decide. Just make the decision with your excess, not with your bankroll. That's my advice to you. With that said, happy Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks all.